Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division in the Community Cup Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. So let's go. We start off directly with hole number 1, a must eagle hole in my opinion if we're going to win this tournament. And first, you can see I'm playing with an extra mile level 5 and I'm playing with a basic ball. We don't need more. If you do want to be even more conservative, then you use a power 3 ball. Or like power 1, power 2, power 3 ball. Here I'm going with some slight overpower, not much, and with a little bit of curl to the left as well. The only thing that I'm focusing about here is to put myself as close to the green as possible. In the best case scenario, I'm going to be on the green. I'm using the max topspin that I do have on the X Mile level 5, which is 4.5 bars. And that's, yeah, I was about to say as much side spin to the left possible, but that we don't have. That's why I went with curl. Also, before we take the second shot, the wedge here, very close to the pin, do not forget that you can subscribe to the channel. Be a sub. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button on top of the stream. If you do want to get the updated text guide, which are more detailed explanations on how to take the shots in this tournament, check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Last but not least, timestamps. You can find them in the video description down below. So if you don't want to watch hole 1, you skip and go directly to another hole in this playthrough. I'm taking max topspin here to just make the travel part of my ball, like the amount of time the ball is traveling in the air, as little as absolutely possible. So I'm lining it up using just the left side of the pin there, and then gonna take my shot and we're gonna make it an eagle. You can see there it's like I'm using a basic ball as well. So once again, if you do want to stay away from having to overpower, then you use a ball with a slight amount of power. Power 1, power 2 or power 3. Hole number 2, a par 3, that is, I would say, fairly simple. It's one of the Meadow Castle again, so we get definitely a slow start. Here, once again, we're gonna play with a basic ball. And I know when we're playing from the front tee, I know people love to hear that when we are able to play with a basic ball without, and still having a very good chance to make an hole-in-one. And also eagle and albatross or whatever. So you can see here we're going to, our opponent's aiming with a Saturn level 2, which is going to be there on the fairway just before the fringe. Important to know about this hole is that this one is played downhill, so we're going to add 10% extra for our approach shot to be able to get to be spot on when it comes to going for the pin. I'm going to play with a backbone here. The reason I'm playing with a backbone is because it gives me backspin. If I do have a club that do have at least 3 to 4 bars of backspin with our long iron, that is club that we do want to play with. So you can see we are basically in minimum distance of our club. Going to go and use max backspin and aim actually on the fringe. You can see here that I'm aiming straight at the pin with as much backspin that I possibly can, which was approximately 5.5 if I didn't read that incorrectly. Now I'm going to play this one 2.5 rings, which is more like a minimum distance of my club, with a 10% over adjustment. The thing that we're looking for here in the end is that we do need to play this one in more like a medium distance to be able to be spot on there. And other than that, the speed comes very nicely, and going to be at least a super easy birdie. Hole number 3, here play with your big topper. If you do have it in any type of level, level 1 would work as well. The only thing that I would change though from having a level 1, level 2 compared to a level 3, level 4, level 5 is that I do want to play with a power 4 or a power 5 ball, like a berserker that you won in the golden shot. If you have a lower level big topper. The reason I do want you to play this aggressively here on the island is that even if you hit the ball great to the left or to the right, you're still going to be able to bounce on the fairway without any problems. And you will, with a topspin, gain such a tremendous amount of distance that you're going to lead yourself up for a very good spot, a very good spot there to make an albatross from distance. And what do you do if you don't have a big topper? Let's say you have an extra mile like our opponent is doing here. I would actually try to bounce over island here still. we need to have in mind that we do have tailwind, so the ball is going to bounce further than it looks on the ball guideline due to the extended ball guideline that we're having. This here is going to not be that super good, as it's going to be directly into the water. But aim straight on the island, and then we need to go with some tiny bit of overpower there as well. Don't forget the overpower, it's needed for us to be able, we don't need maximum, but at least go with around 50% of overpower with your club there. See here, now we do have a thorn, or like a short iron. You can play with whatever short iron you like, and we do have a very nice opportunity here for the albatross. We aim straight at the pin. We're going to over adjust this shot 10% as well, but with the thorn being so close and the wind so low, it's not going to be that much to adjust for, like a half a ring or a little bit more. We hit it perfect, get in the hole! Boom! So we get an albatross here on hole number 3, an absolute key hole in my opinion here, and that's why Big Topper is such a tremendous, amazing club there. And Big Topper is usually one that we do upgrade pretty like early when it comes to even if we have lower level clubs here. Our opponent here is going to go with the Viper here for this part 3, and this part 3 I've been going around to say like, okay, here we're going to play with a long iron like a Goliath to be able to not be in between clubs, but I'm actually going to change my mind here and we're going to play with a wood club, and you're going to maybe understand why. If not, I'm going to explain that when it's our turn. First, we're going to go downhill 10% with our adjustment. That's super important, otherwise we're going to travel too far in this case. You can see here with the power 0 ball, I'm going to be in between clubs. So I'm trying to like, maybe check a power 2 ball, but still not in the spot that I wanted to with the Goliath. I'm still very much further down, and I would never want to play with a power 3 ball, especially not from front tee in the tournament, like on a par 3. So the thing that I'm going to look for here is that I'm going to look for a basic ball, and I'm going to play with my Viper. You can see here I'm aiming for the 3 bar backspin that I do have on my Viper level 6, and I'm going to play it in minimum distance of my club, which is slightly more than 1 ring. Then we need to hit it perfect. That was a you can see it comes in very nicely towards the pin, but we're going a little bit short. So move your target a little bit further ahead and then you will be golden. So we play with a wood club here with a power 0 ball. So either a basic ball or with a Marlin ball. So once again, we're not going to spend any of the more level up balls and try to just keep the ball management very good for us there. Now we come to hole number 5. Short par 4. And here we're gonna go for the green. We're going to use a power 3 ball so we don't have to adjust down into the water and mess up our adjustment completely. So you can see I'm stretching it out here a little bit to just see how will the ball guideline react here actually. I'm using max topspin, which is 4.5 bar topspin, and as much side spin to the left, to the right that I possibly can on my Titan, which is 4.5 bars. Then I'm going to adjust for max numbers with a 10% over adjustment, which is going to be 1.5 ring. No overpower at all. I'm just going to let the ball do the work. We do bounce in the rough and we roll. Sit. No! Oh, then you maybe wonder, why do I not want this ball to go to the green? Because we're going to have such a long putt and we're going to have to overpower it, and then there is a super big chance that we're going to miss that putt, which in my opinion though, it's sure, it's okay though, you know. It's okay shot, and we do have a chance for the eagle, but try, and the thing that we do want to try to do is that we do want the ball to bounce first on the fairway into the rough on the other side, to roll out and then have a wedge for the pin. Our opponent goes unfortunately short, go into out the bounds of the cliff or whatever, And that's the risk that we do take playing on the island there. But I do feel that we do need to play that way, even though it's a little bit more aggressively. But use a power 3 ball so you don't have to overpower. And then of course try to do the putt a little bit better than I did, because I did miss it completely. And therefore I'm just going to settle with a birdie here on hole number 5. But a huge opportunity for an extra eagle here, even though it's going to be tough. Hole number 6, par 3. The last par 3 actually in the game. We're not going to have any more par 3s after this. And this is once again going to be a par 3 that we have been featured in pretty recent tournaments. And it's going to be super important though to at least give it a go. And I'm going to go more of an aggressive line when it comes to going for the pin. As I do want, you know, to maximize the opportunity. I feel it's hard to judge how the ball is going to roll if we're going to use the right side as our opponent is doing here. Once again, as for the other par 3s as well, we're not going to use any specific power balls. So we are going to play with a power 0 ball, with a Marlin this time, due to that we do want to have a little bit of side spin to the left. And you can see here that I'm adjusting with half of the blue ring inside the bunker there. I would say pull out so you do have the complete blue ring just by the bunker on the left before you do adjust. Or let's say like this, we are more or less having the red ring by the bunker on the left. Now we're going to adjust maximum numbers with a 10% over adjustment. And as you can see, we're playing with 1.5 bar backspin and 2.5 bar side spin to the left. No curl, and of course no overpower when it's a par 3. We bounce here, coming in a little bit much to the left here, but we're getting it kind of close, basically just a rings this difference there. So make sure that you're using the blue ring by the what is it? By the rough on, bunker on the left. Hole number 7, another super short and a super straightforward par 5. Not maybe a super short par 5, but we are going to be able to drive our ball as far as we're going to be able to have a short iron towards the pin. First and foremost, I'm not going to add 10% to my adjustment here in any form. I'm just going to play it plain, even though it looks downhill, but the ball is not going to be affected more by the wind than normal. So now our turn, and I'm going to play with the extra mile due to that I do want to have as much distance as possible that I do have with my club. Here we could change to a Titan if you want to, but we can also play with a Marlin. Just see how far will we go without having to spend any of the more power balls. Max overpower is a must, and have in mind that you do have a lot of margin on this very wide fairway, so even if you would be hitting the ball great right or great left, you should be having no problem to get this ball to the fairway. You can see here now it looks like we're going to actually have a long iron in distance. If you would be play with a power 3 ball, you would most likely be playing this one with a short iron now towards the pin. So our opponent is having a horizon towards the pin. You know, I would say play with a club that gives you at least a 2-3 bars of backspin. It's so much easier to control, and also make sure that you're not going to go long. And it's like the worst thing that we do want to do is like that we roll too far and roll over the complete green, because it's so hard to get in the correct distance when we cannot use that much backspin. Okay, so it is a long iron, but it's going to be in minimum distance of our club. So this is going to be still a very good opportunity here. Aim straight at the pin, and I'm going to adjust minimum numbers towards the pin. So this is a very good opportunity, and we're going to see opponents of yourself going to be able to hit an albatross on this one. And that's what we're looking for here as well. We do make sure that we give ourselves the opportunity to do it. If we get it, that's another story. But we do give ourselves the opportunity to get it. Yes, missing that one to the right. Another day, another time. Hole number 8. Hole number 8 is going to be a short par 4, and here we're going to pull out and use some type of a power ball. I'm having a Titan here. I would suggest that you play with a Katana or with a Kingmaker. Why? It's because we do want more side spin. We want as much side spin to the left possible. And even though I'm playing with a 4.5 bar side spin here to the left, it's still not going to be that super helpful, because we're not going to have that much curl on the extra mile level 5. I know there's going to be comments from people asking, why don't we hook this one to the green? Yes, why don't we do that then? We need to have in mind that this guide is for people that generally plays in rookie. I'm not going to make a guide on how to hook a shot in rookie division, where we're most likely just going to not be that familiar with those type of shots. We need to be able to find shots that are going to be better to play with when it comes to in the tournament, instead of having to go with hooks and slices, in my opinion. If you feel comfortable with going with a hook shot when you play down here in rookie, go with it. It's absolutely possible to do that. But I won't be suggesting that. As for, I feel that we're going to have enough struggle with having to go with overpowered shots and just having to adjust our shots properly without having to hook. And I hope that makes sense. That is not because I'm trying to be anything extra there. It's just my opinion when it comes to providing a guide for people that are playing in rookie division. Now I am in the bunker, and that's of course not a good spot. But still a good opportunity from the bunker. What do we do to be able to get away from the bunker then? We do need more side spin. And sure, if you do have a club that gives you more curl, but still have the approximate same distance as the extra mile, then that's the club that we're going to play with. Now it looks like, you know, the thing that I do forget to do here is that I do forget that I only have a Malibu level 3, so I cannot really rely on the ball guideline in the same way that I can on a Malibu level 7 or level 8. So even if I hit it perfect, I'm going to come in way hot here, and I'm not going to drop down. I'm going to bonk, roll in, in and out, and get out there, and miss the eagle, unfortunately. Well, hole 8, also a very good chance to making an eagle. Hole number 9. What are we going to do here? We're going to play with the extra mile, and we're going to play with a Katana here. I'm not going to play with a power 3 ball, it's not necessary, but I would say power 2 ball to be able to achieve the shot here that I'm looking for. Max side spin, 3 bars of top spin. I do not want to go with too much top spin, as I do want myself more on focus on getting, yeah, what can I say, as close to the trees there on the right, but of course not as close that we're going to miss and hit the tree, but at least that we're going to hit it, we bounce over, and going to pull ourselves as close to the right here as possible. For the drive here, we're going to over adjust the shot 10%. That's super important when it comes to hole number 9. You can see here the trees that we do have on the left there, those are the ones that I do want to play myself away from. So that's why I want to have a ball that gives me as much side spin to the right as possible. So our opponent is playing with a Kingmaker here, and you know, I applaud that in terms of like using a ball with as much side spin, but use the side spin when it comes to it. That's super important, so we're not going to find ourselves in any form of trouble. And here you can see the difference from my shot and my opponent's shot. You can see here how much the trees are in play now if we're going to play at the pin. He has the tree in his face, have to curl around or go around. We have an open shot and we don't have to do that. Oh, man. Max backspin here, we're gonna aim for the pin. We're going to be approximately like mid-max distance, and we're going to have to over adjust our shot 10% here as well. So, and in this case, it's going to be approximately like 2 rings in terms of adjustment. Like 1/6, I would say in the end here, as we are not in complete max distance. everyone, I would like to say thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division in the Community Cup tournament. As always, let me know in the comment section below if you do have any type of questions. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Community Cup tournament.